Hey guys, so I haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured, this is something I kind of wanted to talk about, but it's not that big a deal, and I wasn't sure if it would have enough traction to talk about. It started off very minor, and I just brushed it aside, but then a couple more things happened, and I kind of feel like it's something I need to address. It's going to be kind of controversial because I have a very different view than most people who have seen this issue. We're going to talk very briefly about Papergames. For those of you who don't know, Papergames is a company who makes a game called Mr. Love Queen's Choice. I think that's a very stupid title, but that's not what this video is about. I think we all know what this video is about. So Mr. Love, I've never played this game. I should go on the record saying other than this, I have no knowledge of this game. I've never played it. I don't know what it's about. I don't know the mechanics. I don't really care because I tend to avoid these kinds of games like the plague. It has an anime adaptation. And as we all know, those tend to suck ass and be terrible, so I've never seen that. But weirdly enough, this game got an English release. And 3 of the main voice actors and the 3 people we're going to be talking about in this video are Sean Chiplock, who we all know as Subaru from ReZero, although I don't really watch the ReZero dub. The only person I actually liked in that dub was Todd Haberkorn, strangely enough. He was fucking amazing in that dub, he was absolutely on par with the Japanese version, and if you watch the dub, don't watch the beginning or end, just watch the middle part, watch the witch arc, because oh my god, he's absolutely fucking phenomenal in that dub. He's outstanding. Other than that, I've never watched the dub. I have no interest in it. But I know he's in it. The second person is Joe Sieja. I don't know him, other than the fact that he was in Skate the Infinity, and again, I don't really watch modern dubs just because I kind of like the old guard and I like the older people who are in dubs mostly. It's nothing against the newer people. They're not bad. They're just, I like the old guard better. I like the bigger name voice actors who used to be in the previous era. Although some of them still voice act, so. And the one, of course, who is the prominent feature of this video is Jonas Scott. Jonas Scott, who was in Beastars again. I mostly never watched the Beastars dub because I found Laura Jo Mullet to be a really shitty casting choice. I like her, but I don't understand that casting choice. It doesn't work at all, in my opinion. I've heard some of the dub. Her casting just does not work. But that's another story for another day when I start doing the dub analysis videos. And yes, I will do those at some point. But so basically, recently, Jonas Scott put out a tweet that said Taiwan is a country. And needless to say, this did not make China very, very happy, and they decided to take him off of their project. They decided to take him out of Mr. Love Queen's Choice. And everybody freaked out, everybody rioted, everybody was pissed. Sean and Joe were like, we're not participating in this company anymore. And I'm going to be very controversial because I'm probably the only one who thinks this. I completely understand why they removed him. Now, I should preface this by saying that I absolutely do think Taiwan is a country. But I am not part of that group. I am an independent YouTuber who has nothing to do with Papergames. I don't know them. I don't have any relation to their product. I don't have any reason to care what they think. Jonas Scott does. And this is the beef of my problem with him, is in that his whole argument is, oh, well, my contract has nothing to do with you, so therefore I shouldn't have to monitor what I say because I'm not contracted to you. Yes, you are. You may not be contracted directly to them, but they made the product you're voicing in. They made that game. So therefore, regardless of whether you like it or not, they have say in what happens with their product. That would be like someone, because Korea and Japan have a lot of beef, right? They don't like each other very much. That would be like a Japanese someone from Japanese parliament saying Korea is a superior country, and then just expecting no blowover. Expecting no one to be mad. It doesn't work that way. You can't just decide that because you're not working with them directly, you think they don't get to be pissed off at you when you say something, not even inflammatory, something that directly affects them. This affects them because it affects them directly. And again, I know this is going to be controversial to people, but it kind of pisses me off how he doesn't, think he holds any responsibility related to this, because you are voicing in a Japanese-based product. You are voicing in a product that was made by this company. And then you get mad when this company, which is Chinese, says, you know what, we don't want somebody who, because they're trying to keep Taiwan a part of their country. And they say, we don't want somebody who makes reactive political statements part of our game. And then, again, he says, oh, well, that's the other thing I don't like, is it's not in the contract, so therefore it's okay. Let me explain something to you. You don't need a list of every single thing you can and can't do in a contract. Not pissing off the people you work with is probably pretty high on that list of stuff you probably shouldn't do. If you weren't part of this project, then I would say this is stupid. Why are they doing the project? And they punished another voice actor who was part of this project. Like, let's say you said this and then they removed Joe and Sean. Then I would be understandably mad. Then it would make sense that you're angry. But you directly told the people you're working for, essentially, fuck you, I don't like your politics. I don't like your actions, fuck you. And then got mad. And then your friends got mad and were like, oh, we don't want to be part of this game anymore. Which is their right, and I understand. But personally, I don't think they have enough clout. I don't think they can afford to do that. Someone like J. Michael Tatum could afford to do that because he's a very, very, very huge voice actor. He's a very, very, very huge voice actor. He is very, very, I love him to death. He's a very huge voice actor. He's got a huge fan base. He's got a huge following. He's been acting for decades. And if he said this, he would absolutely be able to back out of a project. But I don't know Joe at all. I don't think a lot of people know who he is, except for the dub for Skate the Infinity. I don't know anything else he's done. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments and say, oh, he's done blah, 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 okay. I just don't think he can afford yet to pull himself from project. I don't think. Now, and the thing is, if the people the project he was pulling, if they had hurt a child, or if they'd killed someone, or if they're covering up, like, a child molestation or something, then maybe I'd understand. Like, if they were covering up something really, really, really dastardly, like maybe somebody died, I wouldn't understand. But someone they know made a very reactionary tweet, a political reactionary tweet, and got consequences for it. and they decide that we're just not going to work with this company anymore. Again, I'm not saying that I don't disagree with what Jonas said. I absolutely think that Taiwan is a country, and I think they deserve their independence. But you can't afford to be doing this. You can't afford to be making, like I said, reactionary tweets when you're just getting your career off the ground. And the thing is, if Vic had said this, and I'm sorry, I have to go back to this, everybody would have lost their ever-loving shit. Everybody would have been flipping the fuck out and being like, oh, that's horrible. How could you say that, Everybody would have flipping the shit and being like, well, you said something stupid and now you gotta pay the consequences. And I'll make a video about this later, but I'm really tired of big name voice actors getting barbecued for literally anything. Or not just voice actors, actors in general. Big name actors getting fucking barbecued for literally anything. While smaller scale actors do much worse, and nobody cares. Nobody, someone at the top, an A-list actor can say something racist, and everybody wants to end their career. But a C-list actor, like, let's say, beats up his wife, and nobody cares. Nobody pays attention. Or at least nobody gives it the same level of notoriety I would. But that's another video for another day. Basically, the recap is, I think that while it's admirable what they're doing, I think Jonah just needs to understand that you can't piss off the people you work for and then expect them not to end their contract with you. And in the future, just watch what you say. And I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, well, he shouldn't have to monitor what he says. Yes, he absolutely should. He absolutely should have to monitor what he says. Telling someone to watch what they say, telling them, and this is going to be something I talk about in the future, telling someone to monitor what they say is not fucking censorship. It is not censorship to ask someone to be careful with what they say to people. That's not censorship. Censorship is somebody saying, censorship, saying something and, like, getting killed for it, or having people raid your house. Censorship is not a company removing you from him because they don't like, well, it is censorship, and to a degree, but at the same time, I understand why they did it, because, it directs them effectively. It directs, it's directly related to them and their politics, and I can understand why they'd be pissed off if somebody, said something they don't like. Now, I should preface this, because this all sounds like I think that what they did is okay. I agree with their choice. I think it's wrong, but I agree with their choice in terms of business and in terms of, like, how they're handling it. I know that seems contradictory, and I'm sorry if it does, but that's how I feel. Next, Week 9 should be coming out this weekend, and if you're wondering why I'm behind, it's because I was going to do, like I said in the previous one, I was going to do a dub recap, but some of the dubs have not come out yet, so that's probably going to be at the end of the season, when I don't know when the dubs for 86 and Dragon Ghost House Hunting. I don't want to watch that show, but I want to watch an episode of the dub to see how it turns out. And that show, 86 and Full Dive, those dubs have not come out yet, and I don't want to make that video until those dubs come out, because I want to do as many dubs in the seasonal recap as possible. So most of the dubs, and if you're wondering, most of the dubs this season suck for one reason. It's mostly because of miscasting, but I'll get into that in my video, and hopefully week 9 should be out by this weekend.